So, ladies and gentlemen, the 1972 Summit Series caused many Team Canada players to lose their mind. In published reports and in video reports, this is a list of people that lost their mind. Frank Mahovlich, Gary Bergman, Phil Esposito, Vic Hatfield, maybe Brian Glennie because he didn't play much, Wayne Cashman, and this guy, J.P. Parise, who in Game 8, after a bad call against him, came within inches of taking his stick and killing one of the two referees that was... he was going to swing his stick and kill a player, kill a referee that was doing the game. He was never like that before that, and he was never like that after that. But that doesn't take away his smooth way of skating, his smooth way with the puck. And the fact is, he was a superstar, or a major star, whatever you want to call it, with two franchises in the 1970s when he needed guidance and experience of a great player. So we're going to be talking about the J.P. Parise's overall career. Now, born in Smooth Rock Falls, Ontario. What a beautiful name. What a beautiful name. Again, played mostly for the Stars and the New York Islanders. Now, Parise was signed by the Boston Bruins at 21 after scouts saw Parise score 4 goals and 2 assists in a playoff clinching game. Now, his first season with the Niagara Falls Flyers, he put up 28 points in 38 games. He also moved to the Kingston Frontenacs of the EPHL for the next 2 seasons. 64, he was in Minneapolis as the Bruins in the Bruins minor system. That year, he had 63 points in 72 games. 65, he had 73 points in 70 games. 66, he got a call up to the Bruins, but had most of that campaign with the Oklahoma City Blazers of CPHL. 67, he got a bigger call up to the Bruins with 4 points in 18 games. Now here where it gets really bizarre, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Boston held these rights. Now, CVC can follow this. It's pretty bizarre. The following season saw expansion, and Parise was drafted by the California Seals on June 6, 1967. On October 12th, he was traded to the Maple Leafs for Brian Hextall Jr. and Gary Eman and assigned to the Rochester Americans of the AHL. He eventually played 30 games for the Americans and was called up to the Leafs for 1 game before being dealt again on December 23rd, this time to the Stars. He was traded for he traded with Milan Marcetta for Murray Hall, Ted Taylor, Len Lund, Don Jones, Dick Harris, and the loan of Carl Wetzel. A bunch of no names, and he was the only name that was out there. Now, when he eventually arrived with the Stars, he played in a line with the great Jules Drouin and high-scoring right-winger Bill Goldsworthy. He became a star in Minnesota, playing 6 seasons and parts of 2 others in the Stars system. He was named twice to play an NHL All-Star game, and he had his best career year in 72-73, where he scored 27 goals and 75 points. Now, we're going to break down the Summit 72 Game 8 situation. Now, this caused a lot of recognition of Parise. He was having a great Summit Series before that. He was overachieving for Team Canada. And at that point, Game 8 was his 6th game, and he already put up 4 points, including 2 goals. Now, let's break this down. Team Canada had lost Game 5 after leading 4-1, lost 5-4. The one on the heroics of Henderson and Dryden Esposito, the 2 Espositos in Game 6 and 7 to tie the series. In Game 8, they were trying to stop Bada and Kampala, the referees in the previous game, for playing. They were going to boycott Game 8. As soon as the game started, Canada players were heading straight to the penalty box. Now, Parise was playing on a line with Phil Esposito here. Now, Parise took a penalty, and he started complaining to the bench. When he came back, he made a motion that he was going to strike the referee across the face with his stick, full bore, Joseph Kampala, and this was, I think, the 4th or 5th questionable penalty in the game. Now, he held back at the last second, literally, from striking Kampala, and was ejected from the game in consequence. As a silver lining, the officiating of the game improved considerably after Parise's threat, which allowed the teammates to get back in the game. So a lot of people felt he sacrificed himself for our nation. I don't know. If you watch the whole game on YouTube, there's a direct change, but I think they weren't calling penalties to calm down because the fans, there was, I think, 3,000 Canadian fans in the Vestia location, and they were looking to kill, especially, I don't know if it's the Bill White penalty or I don't know who it was, but Parise lost his friggin' mind. Now, Parise, like all NHL players, got old awful quick. At age 34, the North Stars felt that Parise was aging and dealt him to New York Islanders midway for the 75 season for Doug Rombaugh and Ernie Hickey. He then went on to be one of the key players and not only lead the Islanders to their first playoff berth that season, but all the way to the Stanley Cup semifinals, where the Isles lost in a hard-fought 7-game series to eventual champions, the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, Parise had 16 points in 17 playoff games that year, second to former North Stars teammate Drouin, who had been required in a separate deal with Minnesota that season. So Parise played 2.5 seasons on Long Island, adding over 20 goals each of his 4 full seasons and providing excellent two-way defensive and offensive play. Now, halfway through the 78 season, Parise was traded to the Cleveland Barons along with John Potvin for Wayne Merrick, Darcy Regler, and Cleveland's 4th-round choice in the upcoming draft. Now, after the demise of the Barons and their June 4th and 5th merger with Minnesota, Parise became a North Star again. He would serve as the team's captain while playing his final season before retirement. Now, in total, Parise played 890 games in NHL, leading the league in games played in 3 seasons, scoring 238 goals and 356 assists for 594 points, with 706 minutes in penalties. In the playoffs, 58 points, including 27 goals in 86 playoff games. Now, after his retirement, he served as a coach in the North Shores organization as an AC between 80 and 88, except for 84, when he was a head coach for Minnesota's affiliate, the Salt Lake Golden Eagles of the CHL. There he posted a 35-2 record. Thereafter, Parise retired to Minnesota, where he coached and was hockey director for Shattuck St. Mary's, where his son Zach Parise and many other players, such as Sidney Crosby, Jack Johnson, and Jonathan Toews, played. Now, on April 23, 2008, he was named the head coach and GM of the Des Moines Buccaneers of the USHL, and continued his coaching success, but only served as 1 season as head coach. Now, his son Zach Parise played a number of solid years in the NHL, mostly for the Minnesota Wild. His eldest son Jordan was also a goaltender and played in the USHL with the Chicago Steel and Waterloo Blackhawks, then played 3 seasons with the North Dakota Fighting Sioux NCAA hockey program, leaving as the school's all-time leader and in goals against average at 2.14. Now, Jordan then signed a contract with the Devils on July 14, 2006, and played with the Lowell Devils for 2 seasons. Jordan later played in Europe with EC Red Bull Salzburg of the German League and HC Valpellice. Now, it was sad news that Parise reports came out they were suffering from cancer in 2014 with advanced stage of lung cancer. He eventually died on January 7, 2015, age 73. Now, achievements and facts for his year. Again, the All-Star game in 1973. And on April 11, 1975, Parise scored a goal 11 seconds in overtime to give the Islanders a 4-3 win over the Rangers, clinching the best-of-3 playoff series for NYI. It was the fastest overtime goal in NHL history up to that time, and if it's still available on YouTube, boys oh boys, that was an exciting reaction from Parise when he scored that goal. What a smile on his face that night. Now, also at the time of his retirement, Parise was the North Stars all-time leader in assists, second in points, third in goals, and fifth in games played. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening today. Give me a like, comment, and subscribe. One thing I like about J.P. Parise, if you're going to talk about a hockey player, especially someone as dedicated as him, but he only regrets he never saw his name in the Stanley Cup, because the time that his career faded, the Islander dynasty was not there yet. But those mid-1970 Islanders teams, 75, 76, and 77, they were really, really strong, ladies and gentlemen. Especially the one that played Montreal, that pushed them to 6 games in 77 in the semis. They were a very, very talented team. But it's so strange to see the Islander teams of that era with no Mike Bossy in the lineup. It's quite emotionally chilling. So, thanks for listening. Bye.